Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. As you guys can see, the truck is actually covered in snow. There's a bunch of snow on the driveway on the truck, as well as the yard behind us. Across the street's a little bit more in the direct sun, and so a lot more snow has melted. And yeah, the weather has kind of been a little tricky the last couple of weeks. You guys will have seen the bed video where we went and picked up the GMC Sierra Denali bed, or quadrister bed, whatever you want to call that. And obviously we have our old bed right here. But yeah, you guys saw that video last week. Well, actually the day after that video, it snowed 6 inches here. And getting snow here is very rare. It froze, so it stuck around as kind of an ice-snow mix for a couple days. No big deal. But then again, it snowed like 2 inches last night. So it has snowed twice here in the last week. Actually, not even the last 7 days. It's the last 6 days. Well, technically 5 days. So in the last 5 days, it has snowed twice. And you guys wouldn't have known about this, but I bought a snow shovel 4 years ago, and I actually never used it. It snowed really bad in 2018. It's obviously 2022 right now. I almost said 2021. And yeah, I literally have not had to use that snow shovel in 4+ years, and it's snowed twice in a week. Now, will I shovel the driveway today? I don't think so. It's supposed to get into the 40s today, and I think those couple inches of snow that we got last night will actually melt. And yes, you will notice that the garage door is now closed because it is probably in the 20s right now. So, like I said, it will be in the 40s today, but that just cooled down the shop a lot. Didn't really want it to, but I had to get you guys an intro. So, as you guys can see behind me and kind of over back behind here, there's a lot of crap in the shop. Today's video will not be about cleaning up the shop. I actually have a plan for that. Just requires me to have time and better weather. We'll just say it like that. So in today's video, we'll be starting a series of shop updates. I'm not really sure how many of these there will be, but at least today's will be going over the air compressor and our central air system. And basically all that we have is I believe it was an Ingersoll Rand Devil Bliss air compressor. It's an 80-gallon, I forgot how many horsepower it is. It might be 3 or 4 horsepower, something like that. But yeah, so I've had this since my old shop. We've been here 6 years. I think I was in my old shop for 4 years. I've had this air compressor for like 11, maybe going on 12 years. And I actually got this from my father-in-law. So I got this compressor 11 years ago. I think he had it for 10+ years before that. So I think this air compressor is going on 20 years old, something like that. We've had no issues with it. It works just fine. But we've done a couple upgrades to the accessories. So like the air hose reel, you guys saw us replace that in a previous video. I'll have that video link up above. And basically what we're doing today is actually doing an upgrade for the filtration for the system. There is a bunch of rubber hose and kind of garbage back here, but basically all I have is 3/8 air line going from the compressor right into the air hose, your air hose right into your air gun. Now over the last 11 years, I've strictly used the system just for air tools. I've never really sandblasted with it, anything like that. We just used it for tools and oiler tools. Never had a problem with it. Gone through a couple Lowe's Cobalt tool brand air guns, but you know, those things wear out. No big deal. So today we'll be adding a filtration system. If you guys can see behind it, I do plan on hopefully putting the air filtration system back behind the air compressor. I know it's kind of not the ideal place for it, but you know, that's just where our wood mount is, and hopefully we can get a mount back there. So we've talked about the filtration system. And I don't have the most expensive air filtration system that we're going to have set up. But this is basically an Eastwood Complete Filtration System. And this comes with a filter and the material inside of it that basically helps separate oil, air, all that stuff. I also picked up a Motor Guard compressed air filter. You could actually put a roll of toilet paper in there and it will actually filter out, but I don't suggest that. Then we're going to have a third filter on the end of the air hose reel, and that'll be going to a paint gun. You guys might be wondering, well, why are you doing all this filter stuff? Well, I actually plan on painting the new bed, specifically clear coating the new bed with, you know, not this bed, but the new Sierra Denali bed that's on the truck. And I plan on doing that because, guys, the rattle can, it works fine for small projects, but a bedside, that's half the truck pretty much. And I'm not too afraid about the base coat. What I'm worried about is the clear coat. You guys know that I've had issues. I had to clear coat the roof twice. I had to clear coat the hood twice. And even after clear coating the hood a second time, I've actually wet sanded, and gone through all the polishing stages. So wet sanded with 2,000, 2,500, 3,000, all the way up to 8,000, and then I buffed it and then polished it. I'm still not satisfied with the clear coat. It's like the clear coat basically doesn't have the clarity to it, the reflective properties. Yes, it's shiny, but if you put your hand over it, it's not a mirror image. Not that I'm expecting a mirror image, but it's almost barely a reflection of your hand. So it just, just after being disappointed and spending hundreds of dollars on clear coat, with the cans from Spray Max. So I'm just going to have to buck up and buy, we've already got the filter stuff. I already had some of this. And basically buy a paint gun to put the clear coat on the bedside. But I think I'm actually going to do the base coat still in the rattle can. I'm going to go with my same guy that I've used for the, for the hood, the roof, the paint. It matches like 99.9% perfect. And I think we're going to do base coat with just the 1K, rattle can. It's already mixed. There's nothing you have to worry about. The only thing we'll be really changing on that will be a paint gun and clear coat. So that's kind of the only new part of this equation. So in order to do that, we obviously have to get an air filter. Kind of shows you the filters, and now let's go ahead and start getting this stuff assembled. The first thing we got to do is basically install the dryer filter for the Eastwood CFS Complete Filtration System. Honestly, guys, I think this is just a rebadged Devil Bliss product. You guys can see it says Cam Air, so I'm pretty sure that's exactly what this is. Eastwood just rebranded it as their own. So all I did was I took the outside metal canister off. There's these 4 bolts. Comes with a the little hex handle. Remove those 4 bolts on top. And then you remove the filtration system that's in here. Honestly, I think this is more of just an air separator than an actual filter. So take that off. There's a little wing nut. We are going to need to use that. And then you also are going to remove this canister holder. And basically, as you guys can see, this threaded rod is shorter. It fits this unit over here, but it's obviously not going to fit this one. So I took a pair of Nipex wrenches. I grabbed this threaded rod, put it in there, tightened it down, and we removed this one, swapped it for the longer one. Then the next thing we're going to do is actually swap the rubber gaskets. This one has some creases in it. I don't know if that's from the top of the canister or that's just the way it was designed. It does say replace it with this flat one, and then also install this smaller rubber one. So swap out this gasket for this one. Should be able to just slide this in, tighten this down, and I think we'll be able to put this back together. All right, so I got the gasket swapped out. We're going to put the filtering material on the threaded rod, so that goes in like that. Put your little cap on there, and then there was a nut. Put this on there. It says do not over tighten. It clearly says, don't do that. And yeah, I think we should be good to go. So that is our drying media. I basically think that the original canister and this filter was just kind of an air water separator, like I was saying. This is actually a dryer that will absorb any water, as well as be a separator, a filter. So what are the odds that the filter company sends you a picture of the filter going the wrong way? As you guys can completely see, they have the finned edge on the bottom of the filter, then the nut and bolt. Well, if you try to put that finned edge inside of this container, it obviously isn't going to fit. So I just kind of rough draft, put this on here. You guys can see it fits. It doesn't hit the container walls, which I'm pretty sure is exactly what they documented wrong. Come on, guys. Like, instructions are not hard. If you're going to provide them, have them be accurate. All right, that's probably tightened a little bit too much, but that's all right. And then we're going to stuff the filter housing on here. You want the Eastwood logo facing out. I'm going to go ahead, put our 5 screws back in. Nothing too complex here. And we'll put all that together. So we'll get this back together. This filter's good to go, and we'll show you what's next. Like I said, we do have a secondary filter, and unfortunately the adapters I bought are the wrong size. Apparently I can't do measurements, but that's all right. So basically it's 3/8 coming out of the filter, It's a 1/2 inch coming into the motor guard filter, so you're gonna need a 1/2 inch to 3/8 reducer. It's also 1/2 inch here, so 1/2 inch to 3/8, either reducer or 3/8 to male. I think what I'm gonna do is just get the reducer, then get a male to male, because I do want a little bit of room between this filter and the regulator. So 1/2 inch coming out of here to 3/8 here, and then at the very end is going to be your hose. This will be connecting to your hose reel. So I'll have a connector going from here over to the red hose reel, and that's all 1/4 inch. So you'll need a 1/4 inch there. And I think I'm going to do a quick disconnect here, and as well as on the end of the hose reel. So basically what I want to do is I want to be able to have a way to bypass this filter system, because I'm not going to want to use my filters up just putting a wheel on or anything like that. So, you know, strictly for paint, easily accessible. And I've been thinking about it. I might actually mount this filter system on the air compressor itself. I'm not entirely sure if that's the route we're going to go, but trying to put this on that piece of wood back behind it, you know, you're going to have no access to any of the filters, and you need easy access to this stuff. And so yeah, when I get all the correct adapters and everything in, this will be the filter system for the air compressor. All right guys, I've actually just completed the filtration system upgrade for the air compressor. You guys will see that we have everything assembled. So we've got our Eastwood filter, we've got the motor guard filter, we've got our pressure regulator. Then I added this 1/4 inch 90 with a quick disconnect, and you guys will see that is anodized purple. Well, that is because this is a Milton. It's basically a V-style fitting, and I have been using either a combination of the automotive or industrial fittings, and they always leak. I've never had good sealing qualities with them, like ever. Half the tools I use them on, they're loose fitting and they leak. So, you know, with us not wanting a pressure drop, so I just decided to go ahead and get a couple of these Milton V quick connect fittings. And this came with 14 pieces. I actually bought another 3-piece kit, which was basically male, female, and a quick disconnect. So with the filtration system, we're also going to be upgrading these fittings for everything, all of our tools and whatnot. And like I said, we're going to integrate some quick disconnects from here. That way, we want to bypass the filtration system. I don't have to do anything but just, you know, pull the hose, move it back over the hose reel or whatever we're doing, and completely bypassing the system. Because like I said, we don't need triple filtered air for everything that we're going to be doing. So the other thing I wanted to say was I did use a combination of your traditional Teflon tape. I really hate that stuff. It doesn't work very well. And then I remembered I had some of this thread sealant. This is actually some 565. I've used this for automotive fuel. I figured, well, if it's good for ethanol and fuel, should do just fine with our air compressor system. So using a little bit of combination of both of those, and we are actually almost ready to get this mounted to the air compressor, but the one thing I'm missing is a 90-degree 1/4 inch. I had only bought one thinking that's all I was going to use, but I think what I'm going to do is actually mount one on the top of here, and that way the air hose, I don't have to like stick it on top, I can just come in from the side. So that might be a fitting I do, I'm not sure. Or we can just use one of these male fittings, stick it to the top of here. So that is the filtration upgrade. Now we need to mount that to the air compressor. So as you can see, we're going to make the mount for the paint filtration system. Right now we're cutting the angle iron. And to get this angle iron to bolt to the air compressor, you guys can see that we are drilling the mounting holes through the angle iron. And now you can also see that we're drilling some holes through the air compressor itself, and we're going to bolt this bracket to the air compressor. Alright guys, so you can see we have some actually LS3 or LS2 header bolts, whatever you want to call it. And we've got our bracket bolted down. I may weld the nuts on the backside, I'm just not sure yet. But basically the idea is that we're going to have that here then we're gonna have this, something like that. Yes, you guys can see there is only one mounting hole currently, but I'm gonna just take some more plate steel and weld a chunk of it to the end of our L bracket that we have. So we'll add that, weld that, drill that, just like we showed you on here, and we should be well on our way on this project. All right, guys, as we showed you earlier on the L bracket for the paint filtration system, our bracket was a little bit short. So what I went ahead and did was actually cut out some more of the angle iron, and basically what we're gonna do is just weld a seam down the middle here. We'll grind that smooth, and we'll just call it a day. So let's go ahead and get this welding. You guys will see in another video, I actually had another welding project, and the welder's giving me some crap. I don't know what's going on with it. So thankfully we are gonna be grinding this, so it's no bigger deal, but these welds may not end up looking that great. So I'm not sure exactly what the problem is. I thought it was a wired feed. I thought it was a wire feed issue with the tip, but the tip looks fine. I just changed it, and I don't know what's going on. So let's get this tacked up, and we'll go from there. Alright guys, there you go. Our piece is fully welded up. I don't know why the welder is giving us a bunch of crap, but you know, I've never had an issue with it before. But you know, so when I was tacking it, I was having an issue, but when I just kept going, it had no issues. So I don't know. But anyway, so this is very hot. So this is the bracket. It's going to bolt to the compressor. We'll drill a hole here. We'll drill a hole here. We'll mount the air filtration system to this. And before we do that, we got to get this ground down flat. All right, guys, we got the bracket mounted kind of like we were showing you a little bit earlier. We did get that extra piece of metal welded on here and ground down. And what we used to mount everything was basically what I have laying around was LS header bolts. So mounted here. I got 13mm nuts on the back. I almost welded those, but you guys saw I was having much issues with the welder, so you know the nuts are just tightened down for now. I will take this back apart and paint this. I did want to show you, you know, we do have the Eastwood filter, the motor guard filter, and then our pressure regulator over here. Yeah, it is kind of hidden in the back, but that's kind of the only way I really had a space for it. You know, you may have been able to mount it to the side, but then I'm blocking off the hot water here and everything, and this is kind of just the best solution for right now. I'm not saying any of this is permanent. You know, we always could just drill these, take the brackets off, move it, put it somewhere else. But I think for right now, we should be good to go. So that is going to be the filter system for our air compressor. So that's pretty much going to be it for this round of air compressor modifications. I actually do have another one, which will be a separate video. That'll be next week's video. If you guys want to see the next round of modifications, the painting video, the bed video, hit that subscribe button, turn on your bell notifications. If you guys want to help support the channel, I'll drop some links to all the tools we use down below. The filter, the motor guard filter, the Eastwood stuff. I might not be able to get that, but I might be able to find you the Devil Voice kit, because that's pretty much what that is. We'll drop all those links down below, and make sure you check out our website, BonecrrusherSS.com, where we did just release some new Duramax merchandise, and make sure you check out our other things. Thanks, guys. Have a great one.